Next we are going to start with the three-phase transformers. Till now we have discussed only single phase, but in power systems, in practicality, we are more concerned with the three-phase transformers. In substations and everywhere, you are going to encounter three-phase transformers. Now these three-phase transformers, they can either be formed by using three different single-phase transformers. Okay, and in three-phase, all of the three phases, they should be out of phase with respect to each other by 120 degrees, and the magnitudes are going to be same. So if you can get the three transformers, the three single phase transformers to follow these conditions of the three phase system, then you can get a three phase transformer, but this is called as the transformer bank. If you are just using three single phase transformers, it is called as the three phase transformer bank. In reality, most of the times what is going to happen, you are going to have a single core on which three phases are wound. Okay, that means it is going to be something like this. Here you have one core, here you have another, like this. Now here you are going to have one phase primary and the same phase secondary. Similarly, the second phase primary and secondary, the third phase primary and secondary. This is the practical three-phase transformers that you are going to usually encounter. What is the advantage of this? This is going to be less bulky because we are using a single core. So the overall weight, it will be less. So it is smaller size. This is called as single core three-phase transformer. And also, if you remember the type of cores, it can either be a core type transformer or a shell type, right? So this will be the three-phase core type, right? The windings are wound to the external legs as well. In a shell type, what is going to happen? All of the windings, they are going to be wound on internal legs. So here you have one internal leg. This will be one for one phase. This is for the second phase, and finally for the third phase. And the windings are going to be like this. Phase 1 primary and secondary, this is the second phase primary and secondary, and this is the third phase primary and secondary. Okay, so this is the shell type single core. This is the core type single core. Now one important concern when it comes to the three phase transformers is the problem of the triplen harmonics. So what is this triplen harmonics and what is the problem caused? So basically, what is harmonics? When you have a fundamental frequency of omega, we are talking about the AC systems, okay, and the AC system is going to have some frequency. The frequency at which we are operating is the fundamental frequency, and the harmonics are going to be 2 omega, 3 omega, 4 omega and so on, right? Now what is triplen harmonics? They are a multiple of 3, that is 3 omega, and similarly 6 omega is going to be another triplen harmonic, 9 omega, similarly 12 omega and so on. So what happens here is, if you consider the harmonics, the phase A, let us take phase A, some magnitude A is present and sine 3 omega t, the third harmonic of phase A we are considering here. This is A sine 3 omega t. Now third harmonic of phase B, if you take. So what is this going to be? A sine 3 times of omega t minus 120 degrees, right? Because the phase B is going to be lagging the phase A by 120 degrees. Now 3 times of the argument is going to give you the third harmonic. So now what is this going to be? A sine 3 omega t minus 360 degrees. 360 degrees is 2 pi. So this is going to be A sine 3 omega t, right? Similarly, third harmonic of phase C, if you take, then you are going to get A sine 3 omega t plus 120 degrees. Here also you are going to get 360 degrees plus 360 degrees. So you are going to get A sine 3 omega t. So you can see that the phase A, phase B and phase C third harmonics are all in phase. Now what is the problem if they are in phase? That is the question. For this you have to go back to the discussion about magnetizing current. The magnetizing current should be having a third harmonic component so that the flux is sinusoidal. For a sinusoidal flux, you can write down, for a sinusoidal flux, magnetizing current should consist of the third harmonic component. And because of this third harmonic current component only, the magnetizing current, we found it to be in peaky nature, right? So that is required for a sinusoidal flux. If flux is sinusoidal, then automatically the induced EMF will also be sinusoidal. So this is one point that you have to remember. The second point is, in a three-phase balanced system, what is going to happen? All of the phase voltages or currents, if you add them at any instant of time, they are going to be 0. In a balanced three-phase system, phasor sum of voltages or currents is 0 at any instant of time, right? So if you take a single phase system, okay, then if a current I is flowing out of the source, let us say there is a source here, okay. So if the current I is flowing like this, then it will return back through another line, right, which we usually call as the neutral or the ground wire, right. This is for single phase system. Usually you are going to have 2 wires. But what happens in case of a 3-phase system? There are going to be only 3 wires, and in first wire there is going to be phase A, then phase B, then phase C. There is no return path here, right? Because in a 3-phase system, at any instant of time, if you add all of these 3 components, then they are going to be 0. So there is no necessity for return path. So these 2 points, if you take into consideration. Now what is going to happen in a 3-phase transformer? The third harmonic components of the magnetizing current should flow so that sinusoidal flux is maintained. Flux is sinusoidal, okay. Now the third harmonic component, they are all going to be in phase, right? That's what we have discussed. Now when all the third harmonic components are going to be in phase, then there will be a necessity for a return path. In a normal 3-phase system, because we are not concerned with the third harmonic components, we are not concerned with the return path. But in 3-phase transformers, since the third harmonic current is necessary for a sinusoidal flux, we will be needing a return path wherein the third harmonic currents can flow. So you can write down here, since in 3-phase transformer, the third harmonic component of magnetizing current is necessary for a sinusoidal flux, they will need a return path. Why will they need a return path? Because they are in phase, because the third harmonic components are in phase. So how do we ensure a return path? If you consider a star connection, in the star connection there is no possibility for any return path if it is not grounded. But if it is grounded, then this will act as the return path. Okay, that is for star connection. What about a delta connection? In a delta connection, there is these are the 3 lines. But now this is forming a closed circuit, so the third harmonic currents, they can circulate within the delta. Okay, so only in the case of a grounded star connection or a delta connection, the 3-phase harmonics can flow. So you can write this point down. In ungrounded star, third harmonic currents cannot flow. So what will happen if they cannot flow? That is the next question. If third harmonic component cannot flow, then the magnetizing current will be sinusoidal. and this is going to result in a flat topped flux waveform. You can obtain this from the BH curve as well. How will the BH curve be? This is the B axis, this is magnetic field intensity, and this is the curve. Okay, on one side, if this is the time axis, then what should be here? It should be flux, because this axis and this axis should be same. And here we can have this is time axis, and here the magnetizing current will be present, because H and Im, these are proportional. Okay, so if you draw a sinusoidal flux, sinusoidal magnetizing current, and then you extrapolate the wave onto the flux waveform, then you are going to get a flat topped flux waveform. Okay. Now further, what is the problem if the flux waveform is flat topped? The flat topped waveform, it is going to contain a third harmonic component. So how the third harmonic component will be present? This is the first harmonic, let us say, and the third harmonic, it is going to be something like this. Okay. Now if you add these two, then you are going to get the flat topped waveform. So in this region, it is going to be the sum is going to be more than each of them, right? So it is going to be something like this. And after this point, what is going to happen? There is a negative value now, so the waveform should be lower than this waveform. Okay, so that is how you are going to get a flat topped waveform like this. Okay. What happened in the peaky waveform? Remember, there also there was a third harmonic current. In that case, what happened? So I will just draw this here for the sake of your recollection. The first harmonic component, if it is like this, a third harmonic current, it was opposite, it was the inverse of what we have drawn for flat top waveform. So here what is going to happen? Initially it is going to be lesser, the resultant waveform it will be lesser than the principal harmonic, but as it goes to the peak, it is going to rise, and that's how you got a peaky waveform. Okay, so observe the difference between flat topped and peaky waveform. Now we know that the induced voltage, it is going to be the differentiation of the flux. So if this is flux, then the induced voltage E is equal to d phi by dt. Now this third harmonic component, if you see, this is a sine component. So if you differentiate, what you are going to get? You are going to get a cos component. Similarly, the principal harmonic also, the sine components, you are going to get a cos component in the induced voltage. So in that case, we will just see what is going to happen. So first we will draw the sine cos curve, the principal harmonic, right? This will be the cos function, the differentiation of this principal harmonic or the fundamental harmonic. Now if you differentiate and draw the third harmonic, then what you are going to get? You are going to get a cos wave. So again you can see that this kind of third harmonic is going to result in a peaky nature. See where the two peaks, when there is a peak here for the fundamental component, third harmonic is also going to have a peak, just like we have discussed here. Okay, so you are going to get a peaky induced voltage. That is the problem with having a flat topped flux waveform. Okay, so you can write down, therefore flat topped flux will lead to peaky induced voltage. So basically there will be a third harmonic component that is being induced in the induced voltage, which is not desirable. That is the issue of the triplen harmonics.